Hello worldo, this is Gemini Wolfstar Gaming, it's Anton, and we are getting into the music here. This is such an awesome music track. I love it. Anyway, last time, a few things happened. We went toe-to-toe, or should I say robot to robot, again with Kimijima. And it was awesome and amazing, fun. And Akio finally got to see Misane out of the hospital. And I gotta say that last CG that we saw of them walking along the beach, I just flipping love it. I think it's the best CG in the whole game. Granted, we're not done with the game yet, but I think that's gonna be the best CG in this whole game. At least in my opinion. And we are just about to go into the last phase here. I really wonder what's gonna happen from here on out. And I do wonder how long this phase is gonna be. Akio's phase was quite long. That took me 8 episodes to get through. 8 videos. So I think that's the most videos that has taken me for one person's route. It did take me quite a few videos to get through Frau's phase, but that was also in the midst of, trying to get back into the groove of things after being gone for so long. But I digress. Last phase, here we go. Oh,
これでよしと。
I was not expecting to see the what is it called again? I'm kind of blanking on the name of it. It's from Steins Gate. I know that, but I'm blanking on the name of it. So is Daru back home here? Sure looks like... Wait, well, not exactly back home, it seems. I think he's in his workplace, actually. As I said in the last email, I grab a bottle of diet soda and chug it down. Oh, and last time, regarding what I was going to say practically at the end of the video last time, I was going to say that with both Robotics Notes Elite and Robotics Notes DaSH, that I have loved playing through both of these games, and that they are also like my most viewed Let's Plays. It's like, I mean, just a couple of episodes alone of Robotics Notes Elite I'm surprised of how many views they've gotten. And I just appreciate every view that I get. Every view, every like, every comment, even though I don't get a lot of comments. I appreciate them all. So, and with this series in particular, and with the first game, I'm just floored by how many views I've gotten with both games. And I love it. I'm so glad that both of these games have been viewed as many times as they have. I know they're kind of niche games, but at the same time, I'm so happy that people are finding my Let's Plays and, watching them. I wanted to make sure that I brought that up. I'm so glad I didn't forget.
Drinking soda in the hot sun is nice too, but I like it better when I'm in a room that's super cold from the AC.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I much prefer the heat.
It's been 2 days since I got home from Tanegashima. After spending the whole day yesterday with my wife and daughter, I was finally able to return to my castle today.
His castle?
Yes, this is my castle, my hiding place for work. My so-called quote-unquote office.
Okay, so this isn't home? Because I remember in, Steins Gate 0, we actually, see where Daru works, outside of the Future Gadget Lab. So, I guess this is at home then. Because I swear that the placements of these monitors are a little similar to his workspace in Steins Gate 0. Although I may be misremembering.
Generally, I do all my work here. If I work at home, I'll get distracted by my wife and daughter.
Okay, this is at his workplace then.
My wife knows about this place but doesn't know where it's located.
Wouldn't it just be easier for Daru to refer to his wife by her name? It's like, come on, just call her Yuki. It's like, I know what her name is, so just say it.
With a job like mine, you'll never know when there will be trouble. So just in case, I don't tell them the location to keep my family from being involved.
Smart. Very smart. And also very considerate as well. It's like, keeping your family safe. I would do the same thing if I had a family. My own family,
My wife never asks questions unless it's absolutely necessary. Such a good wife. Anyhow, after being out for 2 weeks, I finally finished the stack of work I started this morning and catch my breath.
What you thinking, Daru? It's like you mess everyone in Tanegashima?
Tanegashima. I wonder if everyone from Central T Robot Club is returning to their regular lives.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The fact that I met them is a major plus for me. To tell the truth, at this incident, I had no idea what would happen and was worried the whole time. But I'm seriously glad nothing crazy happened.
Except something crazy did happen. I mean, there was a whole bunch of crazy with each route.
Mail? From who?
Hey! From a.k.a. Okay. I'm so used to voicing him in his, alter ego. Actually, yeah, it's like when I play on my own time, I read everything out loud as well. So So it's like I'm just remembering, wait, playing through Steins Gate, I just read Okabe in my regular voice. Much like I do with Kaito. The word line trembles. Unless this is Okabe being Hoen Kyoma. So it could be the word line trembles, or the word line trembles.
The mail was sent by an old friend. What is this? What's going on?
Yeah, it's like, what is going on? What? Oh, it's like this is kind of vague. The world line trembles. What does Okabe need help with?
I almost dropped the phone droid as it suddenly rings. Okarin is calling me. He rarely goes out of his way to make a call.
Are we actually gonna hear him?
Speaking of, I thought he mentioned he was visiting America for a bit.
Visiting America?
もしもし、電話なんて珍しいじゃん、オカリン。つか、さっきのメールって何なん？はい？ダイバージェンスメーター？
Dang it, we're not gonna hear him. I was hoping for, like, I was really hoping there to hear Miyano Mamoru's voice. His voice for Okabe is so good, especially when he's in his Hoen Kyoma alter ego.
ああ、何年か前にオカリンが作ったあのよくわかんないガジェットでしょ？もちろん覚えてる。
That weird gadget you made some years ago? The phone wave?
え？うん。そうなん？僕にはいまいちよくわからんけど。わかった。オカリンがそう言うなら調べてみるよ。世界線。ね。
Like something big must be going on, especially if Okabe is calling about a world line. It's like, did the world line shift or something? It's like, what exactly is going on?
That was back when we were still students. He, Okarin, a.k.a. Hoen Kyoma, a.k.a. Okabe Rintaro, suddenly started saying something strange. There are not definite, infinite possibilities in our world, and they are called world lines. However, us humans can only recognize one world line at a time.
Yes, as what we learned in Steins Gate.
He says it's not like sci-fi movies and novels where multiple parallel worlds exist at the same time.
Other pieces of fiction would say otherwise.
And once every few years, there comes a time when a major incident occurs that determines the world line. Depending on that incident, the future drastically splits. Once a world line is determined, the events that happen after are generally set. We experience events that are set to happen and head toward the chosen future. A world line cannot be easily overwritten by human power.
Except Okabe did that effortlessly in the first Steins Gate game. and kind of inadvertently and kind of unknowingly in Steins Gate Zero. It's like it just kind of happened. Like it was out of his control.
Even if you know it leads to an unfortunate future. Anyway, Okarin used to be a super... He used to be a super chunibyo and called himself a meddo scientisto, even though he was a college student.
I had to say it as meddo scientisto because that's how they tend to say it. And also used to be a super chunibyo. It's like he'll always be chunibyo.
I first thought it was just his imagination. But in that summer 10 years back, he started talking about his world line theory, and he changed.
He changed? Exactly how did he change?
Suddenly, he studied hard, studied abroad in America, and made connections with overseas scientists who were known geniuses.
Like Kurisu. Huh. Was Kurisu with him then? It's so interesting that he studied abroad in America.
And the message he sent me was... The world line trembles.
Why is it trembling? Is it scared?
The divergence meter...
That's what it's called. The divergence meter that we saw at the beginning.
The divergence meter, a mysterious gadget Okarin made that I cannot fathom the logic behind.
Regardless, it's a thing.
Looks like that gadget can display the world line into numbers. Okarin said before, if that number is displaying a certain value, then the world line is calm.
And since it's since the world line is trembling, the world line is in a state of like chaos, I guess. Then, I mean, it's certainly not calm with it trembling.
But now he says that the value is trembling. I have never seen that value move at all, but he said that if it changes, next will follow complete chaos and World War III.
Complete chaos. Not just chaos, complete chaos. And World War III on top of it. Great. You know, I've actually heard this kind of... It's not exactly a quote, but just kind of a theory, if you will, about World War III. It was World War III will be fought with technology, and when like World War IV happens, we will kind of regress back and be fighting with sticks and stones. I don't know if I put much stock into that theory, but it's just kind of an interesting thing to think about, that we'll just kind of like regress back. It's like technology will just kind of crash, I guess, and we'll be left without any technology for World War IV, so we'll as a result wind up fighting with sticks and stones. Interesting thing to think about, but yeah, I don't know if that will actually happen or not.
a kinda crazy story. It sounds ridiculous and chaotic. But, even so, I believe it. Okarin is ridiculous, chaotic, and arrogant, but I know that when he talks about the world line, he means it.
I wouldn't say that he's arrogant, but he does get a bit full of himself, and that some people may take it as being arrogant. At least that's how I see it, anyway.
For Okarin to go out of his way to tell me over the phone, this may be the harbinger to a major event affecting the entire world line. To start, I decide to check the forums. I say that, but I'm not talking about any normal forums.
Okay, what kind of forum then?
Supermac seems to have been German supercomputers. Supermac and Jew Queen hacked? Seriously hacked? Multiple times. Germany's scientific power is something. Recently hot thread. Daru hacking route analysis. Machine power request to hack? Or hacking? Sagittarius of Dark Light. Naturally, encryption patterns are complex. Many, but some kind?
Kind of blurs together at the bottom there. Kind of hard to read.
There's a special forum my fellow workers, in other words, hackers, use for trading information.
Okay. So it's a forum for hackers, specifically. Gotcha.
In there I find some interesting posts. First is that it appears Supermac was hacked by somebody.
What exactly is Supermac? And in many places it looks like Canada, Brazil, Chile, New Zealand, Australia, the Philippines, Dubai, Turkey, Spain, and Tanegashima. Huh. Tanegashima's on this list. That makes me a little worried.
And another that Jew Queen was hacked as well. Supermac and Jew Queen both are supercomputers located in Germany.
Okay, they're supercomputers. A massive supercomputer that uses parallel calculation processing to arithmetically operate massive amounts of data. Supercom for short. Okay. While not an exact definition, generally it is a computer with a processing speed about 1,000 times faster than a household PC. I mean, makes sense. Operation speed is measured by how many times it can do the four arithmetic operations in a second. Being able to do it once per second is called one flops. 1 flops. That just sounds funny. Or floating point operations per second. Floating point? The Supercom K in Japan can do 10 flops. It just makes me laugh saying like 1 flops and 10 flops. It's like I just kind of in my head I'm picturing someone doing like a belly flop in a pool. It's like that's what I'm imagining anyway. So it's like, oh man, that always hurts to do that. I can't. So it's like hard. That would be hard to watch, seeing someone do 10 belly flops into a pool. That was just kind of a weird non sequitur. Which means it can calculate 10 quadrillion times a second. K means large gate. Didn't know that. So SCK is taken to mean a new gate for computer science. Okay, interesting. So if K means large gate, SC stands for computer science? Shouldn't the letters be reversed then? Shouldn't it be CS, not SC? I don't know. Or maybe it's that way because of how the Japanese language works?
And both were hacked at the same time. Currently, they are unsure who did it and whether it was a solo attack or an organized plan. If it were a solo job, then that person would have tremendous hacking skills.
It's like, who other than Daru would have tremendous hacking skills? Well, wait. If there's another person who has tremendous hacking skills, I'm guessing that person that he's referring to is from the Chaos games? Chaos Head and Chaos Child? I mean, I don't really know, seeing that I haven't played those games. But that would be my guess.
Both supercomputers are famous for having pretty tough security. Even with my, Daru the Super Hacker's, power, it would take an enormous amount of time and effort.
Oh, I bet. Even more than when he hacked into CERN, right?
Seems the forums are going crazy about this. It all sounds so shady. Let's take a peek at @channel for a bit.
@channel's still around? I thought it was a dead forum. Okay. Chancellor Lazar absent for Germany-France conference due to illness. On the morning of the 2nd, Chancellor Lazar was unexpectedly absent from the Germany-France conference. The conference was held to discuss strengthening EU cooperation and the direction of the reforms occurring in the EU. As of now, there has not been an official announcement on why he was absent. Well, that's pretty curious, isn't it? No details? What's going on? I think this is a major global issue. He's probably just sick. I doubt that. If that's true, then why no statement? Right? I live in Germany, but haven't heard any further news. Rather than strengthening anything, the relationship between Germany and France might even crumble. Huh. And that wouldn't be good, would it? And traffic signal issues in Berlin. Why is there traffic signal issues? Did someone hack into the traffic system?
Out of the many threads, one catches my eye.
With the second one down, I'm guessing?
There's a thread about the situation in Germany. Seems like, starting with transportation, gas, water, etc.,
etc.,
there's a crisis regarding its entire infrastructure.
And that's not good at all.
There are lots of tweeps on Tweepo as well about it. Is there any other info about what's going on? Quickly, I turn on the TV. The first report in Japan has just started.
もう一度繰り返します。現在、ベルリン市内にて大規模な混乱が起きているという情報が入っております。
Germany's major infrastructure crisis is currently on scene. Alive in Berlin, Germany. German infrastructure grows unstable. Potential terrorist attack. Oh, great. So, oh boy, this image, I'm kind of having flashbacks to 9/11. Oh, God. I was in high school when that happened. Well, that's good. It's good that no one has been hurt.
しかし、これに伴い、日本政府はドイツへの渡航に関しての注意喚起を行っています。そのため、旅行会社にはキャンセルの電話が。
なんぞこれ。
It's like, didn't think I'd actually get a CG of Daru himself watching the TV. He looks so stunned. What are those little characters in the top right corner there? Just kind of curious about that. And of course he has his like manga stuff behind him, right? Looks like it. And more than likely his eroge games.
In an instant, the size of this incident increases. If it affects
I'm having a hard time saying this now.
If it affects infrastructure, it's a major issue directly harming people's lives.
Yeah.
Both this and supercomputer incidents occurred in Germany.
I'm also kind of having flashbacks to, you know, the whole Y2K thing. I never believed that was going to happen. Mainly because it just seemed stupid, in my opinion. I mean, how would computers get confused over the date going from 1999 to 2000? Just made no sense to me.
Could there be a connection between the two? On TV, they said this could be a terrorist attack, but if so, there would be a declaration made by the criminals responsible.
Oh.
And plus, it's odd that there are 0 reports of bombings or other damage alone. If you wanted to cause harm through terrorism, the easiest and most effective way is to destroy a facility.
Yeah.
It would also make their goals very clear to the world.
Yes. Very much so.
If no bombs were used, the other possibilities are a hacking incident done by a global hacking organization. If something like that happened, I would see more information through my networks. But when I checked that forum earlier, there was nothing like that.
Okay. It's like there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of details right now. Not a whole lot to go on.
ご覧のようにこちらベルリンの中心にあるマーケットには大勢の人が押し寄せております。
Gas, water, transportation shut down. Man.
人々は皆ミネラルウォーターや簡易のガスボンベなどを買い占めようと必死です。
Jeez. It's like this is just like remembering the episode. It's like it's just also reminds me of, you know, the more current state of the world, you know, because of the pandemic.
このような光景はドイツ全土に広まっており、一部地域では暴動も起きているということですが、ドイツ政府の対応は遅れており、国民からは批判も。
It's like Daru's speechless.
As night came, the incident grew in size. The crisis, which had started in Berlin, had spread throughout Germany.
Crisis in Germany, riots in Berlin.
At this rate, people may start fighting for water and gas.
Didn't people fight over gas? Like, I swear I remember coming across information of people fighting over specifically gas. Like, way before, like, I was born. And I was born in 1983. So, just imagine fighting over gas. Being in line at a gas station. And, you know, waiting to get gas and there not being enough gas. Just imagine that, if you will. It's like, and I swear I've heard something like that happening way back then.
I continued gathering information. My conversation with Okarin and this event, they must be connected.
That's why the world line is troubling. It's like it's in flux or something. It's like the world line doesn't know what to do. It's like it's such a crisis going on right now that the world line is having trouble being stable. At least that's how I want to look at it.
What's more, the case regarding the supercomputers bothers me. Because of the fuss, it's getting overshadowed and going unreported. But, following Supermac and Jew Queen, I see new info on our forum that another supercomputer in Germany has been hacked.
Another supercomputer. Jeez. Who is doing this hacking?
Nearly everyone thinks this was probably done by the same person.
But for what purpose? Just to create chaos? I mean, that seems like such a Kimijima move to do that, but Kimijima should be gone now. So it can't be him, right? So and besides, I don't think he really had, well, I guess as Data he could do anything. It would be very easy for him to hack. I was about to say, how would he be able to hack anything? But yeah, it's like that. Quickly shot that question down on my own. So yeah, it's like, who can possibly be doing this?
AI.
AI?
I got chills as I read the word on the forum. I sit in front of the PC, determined to get help from my fellow hackers. Who is behind all these hacking incidents? Of course, I don't think finding the answer will be easy.
Of course it won't be easy.
Normally, pro hackers leave no trace behind.
Of course.
Yes, if they are a pro hacker. However, if whoever did this isn't a pro,
Stop trailing off, Daru. It's like, complete your sentence. Complete your sentences.
as I thought, there are access points from all over the world to the supercomputers, making narrowing it down difficult.
Inuvik? Am I saying that right? Inuvik?
Inuvik, Canada. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Santiago, Chile. Wellington, New Zealand. Darwin, Australia. Manila,
excuse me.
Manila, Philippines. Dubai.
Oh, UAE. I thought it was like UAE. What's UAE?
Istanbul, Turkey. Maspalomas, Spain. The names of locations are listed.
You're leaving one off.
I gasp when I see a certain location at the bottom of the list.
Here we go.
マジか
Oh boy. He's gonna have to go back to Tanegashima, isn't he?
Tanegashima, Japan. Why is Tanegashima on this list?
Yeah, seriously. This is so worrisome to me. It's like, everything should be fine there now that Kimijima's gone, but no, not at all now. It's like the chaos isn't over there. There's still more chaos to come, and that, oh my god. I am now worried about Kaito and Akiho and everyone else. Oh my god.
The bad feeling in my gut swells.
Leo?
A message. Sent by Leo.
Who's Leo?
That's a fake name. I don't know his real one.
Okay. Wait, how does Daru know that it's a fake name?
He's a hacker I personally respect.
Oh, that's why.
He's a hacker I personally respect and requested to help with something. A message from him.
Okay, hold on, let me...
な、
I want to be able to read the whole thing. Oh my god. That image. That's Kimijima. A ghost?
A ghost?
Not sure what kind of voice I should give this Leo person. Well, I know it has nothing to do with the case, but here's a pic. I don't know. It's like it's the first voice that popped into my head.
There's no mistaking him.
Yeah, it's Kimijima.
君島こう
It's like he is still around. He's the one doing the hacking. I thought we were done with him, but I guess not. Seems like an AR.
When did this happen?
Timestamp is from about 24 hours ago. It's way before the incident started, so probably doesn't have anything to do with it. Huh. Hope it gave you chills. I mean, seeing that Daru knows now Kimijima, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hope it gives me chills, you say? Chills is underselling it. Less than 24 hours ago, I returned here from there. And then Kimijima Ko shows up in Germany.
He said in the first game that there were like many of him. Right? I'm remembering that correctly, right? So, even though that Daru has his data trapped on a little USB stick, there's still more Kimijimas out there. Great.
I frantically grab my luggage and sit back in front of the PC. The data I recovered at Tanegashima. That was 100% Kimijima Ko's.
そんなバカな
There's no doubt that the data I brought back was Kimijima Ko. But after re-evaluating, I discover the truth. This isn't the original version.
It isn't the original Kimijima.
It is just a copy.
Kimijima Kimijima basically said in the first game that he copied himself by saying that there were more of him. So that tracks. So
what I'd captured was just a copy of Kimijima-ko.
Heliopause processor. Interesting face name.
About an hour and a half from Kagoshima Harbor. I step off the jetfoil toppy onto Tanegashima Harbor and notice the wind here feels stronger than Tokyo. I didn't think I'd be back here, especially this quickly.
Hashida-san!
Hi, Kaito. Were you expecting him?
Yashio-kyun rushes toward me as I leave the ship.
ありがとう、来てくれて。
Or maybe Daru contacted him on his way over here.
いや、僕も気になることがあったからね。
Yesterday, after realizing that all I'd captured was a copy of Kimijima-ko, just when I'd lost my words, I received a sudden call from Yashio-kyun.
Oh no, Kaito called Daru.
橋田さん
I answered with dread in my heart. Just as I feared, Yashio-kyun's voice was full of concern.
Yeah, I mean, of course he would. It's like he's a local. Of course he would be concerned and scared, and I assume also, kind of panicked.
大変なんだ。祭りのために島に集められたロボットたちが。
They're all... Oh god. Oh no. All the robots at the festival are moving. They're all moving. Oh god.
The dread I feel leads to a clear vision.
ロボットたちがあんなを起こしたんだ。
Rebelling. Oh no. This is... Oh god, this is like... This is like in the first game with Mizuka's hug. It's like the machine's rebelling. Oh my god. Except this is on a way bigger scale than, the hugs, taking over. These are full-sized robots. Jesus.
A robot rebellion.
I swear this is something, this is like something out of Terminator.
After getting the info from Yashio-kyun and reviewing the case with the supercomputers, I immediately decided to head back to Tanegashima.
Okay, so Kaito basically convinced Daru to come back to Tanegashima.
Haneda も鹿児島も空港は大混乱だったよ。ここまでの飛行機も飛ぶのか飛ばないのかギリギリまでわからなくて。
At the end, it didn't, so I switched to a ship.
I think that was a smarter idea, actually. Switching to something that's more or less on the ground, or in this case on the sea. It's like it wouldn't be pretty to be up in the air during this crisis.
Yashio-kun warns of a robot rebellion. Perhaps due to that, all the computer-related things are down at Tanegashima Airport, and the flights were delayed.
そんな状況なのに来てくれて嬉しいよ。感謝してる。
I mean, Daru has come to know them. It's like he would get worried about them. So it's like I'm glad that Kaito got a hold of him and Daru came swiftly.
ついてきて。みんな待ってる。
Everyone's at Space Candy, apparently. Hi, Heidi. And Sumio. I have no words for Sumio or Michi for that matter. I am not a fan of either character, really, if I'm being honest.
Oh, Hashida-san!
Mr. Candy, members of the Robot Club, and Naiton had all gathered together.
Why at Space Candy, though?
待ってたよ。遠いところありがとうございます。別に私は待ってなんかなかったんだからね。
Admit it, Frau. You missed Daru, even though he wasn't gone for very long.
失礼だろう、フルゴーリ
ー。I grew a bit embarrassed from everyone's welcoming.
There's no need to be embarrassed. You're among friends now.
タロおじさんが来てくれただけで心強いです。
How nice of them to wait for me like this when we didn't even know each other just 2 weeks ago.
I mean, it just shows that they've warmed up to him very quickly. I mean, just 2 weeks and they've welcomed Daru into their group.
But now's not the time to dwell on that.
まずは詳しい話を聞かせて。ヤシオキュンはロボットの反乱って言ってたけど。
After I ask, Yashio-kun explains what has happened up till now. On the day after I left for Tokyo, September 1st, the area around the Nishino-Omote harbor was still plenty busy after the festival had officially ended. The reason, of course, was all the cleanup needed after the festival.
Right.
Due to the events mainly involving robots, there were many businesses from the mainland. They brought in robots, small and large, personal and business models, to Tanegashima to entertain the visitors, and they were preparing to take them away.
But then they came to life, right? Yikes. I'm sure that absolutely scared everyone and made them panic. It's like for all of a sudden to have a bunch of robots just come to life and start to rebel. It's like, good lord. It's like, I can just picture it. I mean, it's like, think of any movie that involves robots and the possibility of the robot rebelling. I mean, like, it's been a super long time since I've seen it. And if I remember correctly, there was a robot rebellion in the movie. I, Robot with Will Smith. if I remember correctly, there was a robot rebellion in that movie. And just the idea of robots rebelling. And before they were like no problem. I can just imagine the chaos. And having like seen that kind of thing in other stuff just kind of gives you an idea of what could happen.
So, all the businesses took one day to clean up and then the next day. In other words, yesterday, they were planning to head out from Tanegashima on the ferry in the morning. Yashio-kyun and Akitan, who were involved with the festival for the past 2 weeks, and the others went to see how things were going. And then...
ああ、お祭りも終わりか。もうちょっと続けばよかったのに。
何言ってんの。2週間もあったんだし十分でしょ。
それはそうだけどさ。
おい、どうなってんだこれ。
あれくそー、なんで。
どうしたんだろう。
行ってみよう。
これって。
Oh god. It just dawned on me. If all the robots are rebelling, then Gunbuild 1 and Gunbuild 2. Oh my god. That would just absolutely crush Akiho's heart. For both of the robots that she spearheaded to rebel? I can just imagine how she feels. It would just be heartbreaking for her. It's like the robots that she loves, that she helped build with her own hands. To rebel like this? That would not be a good feeling at all. I feel really bad for Akiho.
ロボットが勝手に動いてる。
止めた方がいいんじゃない？
いや、そうだけど、あの数はちょっとやそっとじゃ。
まずい、みんな離れて。
危ない、踏み潰されるぞ。
Oh god.
あれ、誰が動かしてるの？
No one is controlling it. Well, I guess you could say that Kimijima is controlling it because he hacked into the supercomputers in Germany. God, that's really far-reaching then, isn't it? That's a very far-reaching hack. This robot is interesting looking.
わからないけど、アキちゃん、とりあえず離れよう。
でも
いいから。
なるほど。祭りに出展されてたロボットたちが勝手に動き出したと。
I swear this is just like Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Oh god.
There were a multitude of variations of robots in size and purpose, ranging from humanoids to vehicle types, and even those used for harbor work and construction sites.
humanoid. A combined word of the words human and oid, meaning akin to in Greek. Huh. Did not know that about oid. That it means akin to. Did not know that. A human-like living thing or robot. When used to refer to robots, it is mainly, not manly. It mainly separated into two types. One that walks on two legs, displaying function, and a second type that displays cognitive capacity and intelligence. In other words, AI. Oh boy. So, all the robots have been given an AI, and that's how they are able to move.
That includes large ones up to 8 meters high like those displayed at the expo last year. All of them started moving at the same time. On top of that,
実は動き出したのは出展されていたロボットだけじゃないんです。
Every single robot. Not just the ones at the festival.
ちょうど同じタイミングで島の家庭や工場で使っていた個人所有のロボットたちも一斉に
勝手な行動を始めたと。
robots are found all over the house nowadays. They include ones used for cleaning, medical manufactured by the exoskeleton company, and even small ones like speakers.
Speakers. There are robots that are speakers? Alright. That's a new one on me.
All of them went out of control. Some, like the household cleaning robots, were able to regain control over, but most of them ignored orders and started marching all together.
Interesting. The household cleaning robots were able to they were able to regain control back over them, but not any of the other robots. Why is it that only the cleaning robots we got that control over?
動き出したロボットたちはどこに？
Good question.
Nighton displays a map on her phone droid.
県道75号線を東へと向かいました。
Barricade 14 hours ago. And that was quite the sound effect there.
Prefectural Road 75 is a road that goes east to west through Tanegashima from Nishinomote.
And down to the coast, it looked like.
ひとまずロボットたちの動きを停止させる必要があると思ってな。役所や警察や青年団でこの地点にバリケードを作ったんじゃ。
How were they able to build a barricade so fast?
それじゃあロボットたちは今。
はい。そのバリケードの手前で停止しています。
今のうちに何とか回収することはできんの？
I'm guessing not.
人間の接近を感知すると威嚇行動に出るんですよ。
In other words, if you get close to them, they'll attack you.
Great. It's like this is all going against the 3 laws of robotics.
I say attack, but if it's ones of the small ones, it's not like they could do much harm. This robot that's smack dab in the middle here honestly looks like a nice robot, but now it's rebelling. Some interesting looking robots here. Oh wait, the one on the far right here, is that a speaker robot? Because it has like the like kind of like the bar waveform and like the play pause button. So yeah, that must be the speaker robot. It's like, how big is the speaker robot? It looks kind of big. However, there are giant robots that function like heavy machines.
Like the one with the two crane-like apertures in the background there.
If they lashed out, it most likely would end in more than just an injury.
Yeah.
文字通り、種子島中のロボットが一斉に反乱を起こしたっちゅうわけじゃ。
ロボットの反乱ね。
It's like they keep saying that. Oh man. It's like 2020 is going to be the year of the robot rebellion. Just like last year was what would you call it? I guess to give a name to what happened last year in game, and I think this is the best I can come up with, is calling it the Rise of Kimijima. With how he just wanted to take over the world. But of course we foiled that. But now he's trying to do it again. And I guess they're calling it a robot rebellion this time. So, well, I guess it could have also, you could have also called it a robot rebellion in the last game too. I mean, you did have Sumaragi, and I do also remember that CG of all those robots like flying through the sky. So I do remember that CG. So I guess in a sense you could also say that there was a robot rebellion in the first game as well, but kind of on a smaller scale. It's on a way bigger scale right now, though. Ah! Okay, so before they were all like, nice and happy robots, and now they're evil robots. I have come to hurt you. Yeah, jeez.
Those words bring to mind the robot rebellion that hit Tokyo last year.
Yeah, well, there you go. I didn't have to sit and think about it. It's like, but I did. I had to think about it. So, both times, robot rebellion. Though it also was the rise of Kimijima because he was behind everything in the first game, and I guess you could also call it the rise of Kimijima in this game as well.
The so-called
how did I say this in the first game? I can't remember. I mean, I almost want to call it the Reich incident. But it's like, but like the II in the middle is like supposed to be like the Roman numeral 2, right? So the R2CH incident?
The situation seems very similar to that one.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it more, yeah.
And the person believed to be the culprit of that incident was...
Mijima.
橋田さんも気づいてるよね。この事態から真っ先に思い浮かぶのは。
No, wait. Kimijima was pulling all the strings, but he was gonna try and pin it on Misane.
Not just Yashio-kyun, I'm sure everyone here is imagining his name. A dismal atmosphere fills the room.
Kimijima-ko.
It's the only possible conclusion. Frau Tan suddenly raises her voice as she stares at her phone droid.
What's wrong, Frau?
どうしたんですか？
それが
Looks like Frau Tan was on Twipo.
I bet Twipo is just blowing up.
ニュース速報。ベルリンでロボットの反乱起きたって。
Yeah, this is happening everywhere, not just Tanegashima. I mean, we all saw that list. It's happening everywhere that was listed. Oh my god.
そんな
Everyone opens up Twipo on their phone droids.
ドイツは現在インフラ系統の大規模な混乱が起きていたはずです。まさかそれに加えて
God, I'm just trying to think of how they're gonna put a stop to this. Not to mention how people are gonna recuperate from such a major crisis.
どうやらここで起きている状況とは少し違うようですね。
How so, Nae?
The rebellion in Germany was different than whatever Pied Piper of Hamelin phenomenon was happening here in Tanegashima.
Oh my god. I was not expecting a mention of the Pied Piper of Hamelin to be brought up in this game. Oh my god. The Pied Piper of Hamelin. Folklore from Hamelin, a city in Germany. Okay, I was not aware that Hamelin is in Germany. A man arrives at a city of Hamelin, where there is trouble due to a large rat infestation. He makes a promise to get rid of the rats if the city gives him a reward. When the man plays his pipe, the rats mysteriously follow him and jump into the river. The man successfully gets rid of the rats, but the city does not reward him. The man departs, but then returns, playing his pipe. This time, 130 children follow the man and disappear with him forever. The story was told in Grimm's fairy tales, but legends say it's based off a true story. Okay, that I was not aware of, that legends say that it's based off a true story. It's like, I've known that it's been part of Grimm's fairy tales, but I actually have not read the story because I do have a collection of Grimm's fairy tales, but I don't remember the Pied Piper of Hamelin being in there. Actually, let me check. Okay, so I looked, and the story is not included in my copy of the Grimm's Fairy Tales. But I do happen to have on DVD a collection of, famous, children's stories called Fairy Tale Theater, which is a show I grew up watching, and one of the episodes in the show is of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. And I was just looking through the booklet here, and according to the booklet, it says that with the exception of the narrative segments set in Victorian England, all the dialogue follows the verse of Robert Browning's famous poem. So not only has it been told in Grimm's Fairy Tales, but it's also been in verse form as a poem by Robert Browning. And actually, this is like the only version of the Pied Piper of Hamelin that I've seen in any media, really. It's like television, movies. This is the only one that I've seen of that story. And actually, interesting thing to note with this episode of the Pied Piper is the Pied Piper is played by Monty Python alum Eric Idle. It's like, of all people to play the Pied Piper, I would not have expected Eric Idle to play the character. They simply just can't control the robots. So we need a Pied Piper of our own, is that it? It's like, who wants to volunteer? It's like, how about you, Kaito? Or Akiho, seeing that, she's the one who has always been gung-ho about robots.
Even so, with this occurring on top of the incident already going on, it could only amplify the crisis. What's more, I discovered that more bad news keeps rolling in. Just one thing after another, after another, after another. Jeez.
まずいな。
どうしたんですか？
フランスでも起こり始めたみたい。
With Paris at its center, an infrastructure crisis has started in France. Just like what happened in Germany yesterday.
It's like, Gimijima's making his rounds.
ドイツやフランスの件も君島公が？
Yes, yes, he is.
あるあるわ。ねえよ！君島公はあの時回収しただろ、上皇。
We did, but there's kind of a caveat with that.
そうですよ。ね、橋田さん。
Everyone's eyes turn toward me.
He needs to tell them. He needs to tell them.
橋田さん、何か知らない？知ってるなら教えてほしい。
Yes, it's like, please, Daru.
確かに、あの事件を起こしたあいつのデータは僕が回収して、今もちゃんと保管されてる。
ほれ、だから今回のこととは関係ないってことで。
ただし、あれはダミーだった。
Wait, a decoy? We didn't get that at all. The Kimijima that we confronted was a decoy? Makes sense with it being a copy then. So the Kimijima that's going around hacking then is the original data of him? And I guess he sent the copy of him to Tanegashima so that everyone in the Robot Club would be preoccupied with that version of him. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Kimijima has kind of played us like a fiddle here.
どういうこと？
この事件を起こしてるのは奴だ。君島公はまだ存在してる。
現在、ドイツ連邦議会前では対応が遅れている政府に対しての大規模なデモが行われており、
このように交通機関が麻痺してしまったパリの街は大混乱となっております。略奪行為などがすでに起き始めているとの話も。
It's like everyone's panicking, they're not thinking straight. It's like that, which is all the point of a crisis. It's like for people just, their minds shut down, they don't think, and they just purely react.
ガスや水の供給も不安定となっており、パリ市民の間には不安が広がっております。
また、この混乱と同時に、フランスのスーパーコンピューター、パンゲアへのアクセスが現在不可能になっているとの噂があります。
Okay, that's the third supercomputer then. Pangea.
事件との関連性も指摘されておりますが、今現在の状況を考えると、捜査は困難を極めるものと予想され、
今回のこの一連の事件は神の意志を受け実行された正義の鉄槌であるという犯行声明を過激派組織 IDSSA が動画サイトにアップしました。
Fist of justice falling from the will of God. Good Lord.
ですが、これは事件に便乗しただけのフェイクの可能性が高く、
I mean, of course they are. Of course they're taking advantage of the situation.
現在のところ、首相をはじめ政府首脳による会見などは一切行われておらず。
Global infrastructure crisis, no end in sight. Jesus. Government slow to respond. Because they're the government, they have to go through a bunch of red tape.
ドイツのギュンター政府報道官に近い筋から、ラーザー首相との連絡が取れなくなっているとの未確認情報が。
It's like, what happened to Chancellor Lazar exactly?
世界ランキングでも上位に入るビーツダイント。これはスイスにあるスーパーコンピュータですが、何者かの手による、不正なアクセスがあったと。
Okay, that's a fourth one. Jesus. God, this is kind of a chaotic CG. It's like with all the lines going. Good Lord. I know I keep saying that a lot, but I guess it's my go-to phrase when things are going crazy.
大変なことになってきたね。
Getting crazy? It is crazy, Kaito. And I feel like what's going on has surpassed being crazy and has gone into what do I want to call it? Pure pandemonium. That's what I want to call it. Pure pandemonium.
To devise a plan for this situation, we made the venue used for robot lectures as our new headquarters.
Okay, this track is new. I really like it. I just want to sway back and forth with a lighter in my hand.
Our members include myself, Naitan, Yashu-kyun, and Subaru-kyun. I also asked Sawada-kyun and Senomiya Mizuki-san to come too. I had the others remain on standby at Space Candy.
Okay, so this image of Daru with, of course, Kaito on the right and Misane on the left, it almost makes it look like he's the king in his domain and Kaito and everyone else are his subjects. That's the vibes that I have from this CG.
It's like, call me Emperor Daru.
You know, I think I'm actually gonna stop it here for now. I mean, this is getting all so very, very interesting and, you know, kind of crazy, chaotic. But I have to stop somewhere. And I know this is kind of in the middle of things, but this is getting really good. Kind of hard to stop. So we will pick this up next time. See if they come up with a plan. If they can think of one. So I hope you all enjoyed watching, and thank you all for watching as well. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more, like, favorite, and claw that subscribe button to become part of the pack. And as always, everyone, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you may be.